Welcome back. My name is Ben Stone. You're watching Canal Gratis, and I am not on a lake right now. I was on my way to film a shallow water panfish video, ice fishing. It was about a 3-hour drive. I was 2.5 hours in, and unfortunately 2 deer decided that they would ruin my plans. So I hit 2 deer at the same time. They were bunched up. I did some pretty gnarly damage to my truck. It's pretty bad, and it goes all the way as far as my door. Not a great way to start your fishing trip off, but the silver lining is my brother Adam is sort of in the area. He's about an hour and a half away. He's on his way to come pick me up, and we are still going to go fishing today. That's my brother. He's here to assist me. Give me a lift to the nearest lake to hopefully catch some fish to make up for the day.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah. So one of the extra camera angles that I have going right now is on my electronics. The way a flasher works is really quite simple. You have bottom right here. These orange flickering marks are fish that are down there. Now this might be a better fish than that first pike that I kind of caught. My name is Ben Stone. I'm a full-time fishing content creator for Canal Gratis, and ever since I was a kid, this has been my dream job. I'm very lucky to have the opportunity to do this as a full-time job, and that is why I'm extremely excited about today's video. If you think this lifestyle is going to suit you well, if you've always wanted a full-time job in the fishing industry, in particular in the content creation field, then I have some pretty exciting news for you because Canal Gratis is hiring yet again. We are hiring another full-time content creator in the United States of America. Now there's a little bit of criteria to be met here. We want somebody in the Florida and or Texas region and somebody between 18 and 25 years old. Ideally, you have a driver's license as well, but most importantly, we're looking for somebody who has a burning passion for fishing, somebody who wants to take Canal Gratis to the next level and create amazing fishing content. If you think this is something that interests you, then be sure to check out the description box below and check out the link to apply and or get more information. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask me in the comment box down below. With all of that out of the way, I wish you all the best of luck, and I hope to see you soon. I found a way to get fishing today. We're gonna do it. It's just me. My brother went off and did his own thing with one of his friends, but I'm here. We're not gonna let the unfortunate events put a damper on today. I am out on the water. I'm gonna enjoy my night. Fishing has always been a way for me to escape other problems in life, and of course, today's just hasn't played out the way I ever wanted to, and just not fun. So we're gonna get fishing. I don't really know what to expect. I've never been on this lake. I've never fished it. I don't know a thing about it. I just set up. I'm in 22 feet of water. I think we got a pretty equal chance at catching crappies, panfish, walleyes, pike. I don't know what to expect, but I'm gonna get fishing, and hopefully today we're gonna catch some fish yet. Trying to put my chest mount on and the set line went off. I've got it. It feels decent. It's not fighting much like a pike, more as if it is. It's a pike. Okay. I'm literally like mid chest mount here. He's like in the hole right now. This is just not ideal. Okay, we are mere seconds into fishing and we have our first fish on board. Not anything giant, but with the day that I've had, I will gladly accept a little. There he goes. I will gladly accept that little guy, especially when they got so much spunk. I say it every time I ice fish, but catching fish on the light gear is just a blast. That was a lot of fun. Now that I've caught a fish, I'm gonna get everything else situated that I need to be situated. I suspect there's probably a fish that's glaring at that right now, so hopefully that'll go down here in just a sec. There's a lot of flickering going on the graph as well, so there's a lot of movement that is going on down there. There's a mark on the flasher as well. Here comes one right now. Got him. That's feels okay. Oh yeah. Alright, there we are. First crappie of the night. I suspected I'd probably catch crappies out here. First fish, frostbite dinner bell. Not giant, but when you've had the day I've had, any fish is going to be great. So that didn't take very long. That's called a black crappie. I know I have a lot of European viewers, so you might not be familiar with some of these smaller fish, but These taste very good, really, really popular, accessible game fish to go after. One of my favorites to chase through the ice. Smaller, but they do get bigger than this, and hopefully we can run into one of those fish. So one of the extra camera angles that I have going right now is on my electronics, which is called a flasher. It's the common term. We kind of call them over here. Some of you viewers might not be familiar with this. There's another mark on here. And basically you can see that that red signal is actually a fish. This is a really effective way to find fish, especially in the winter when these fish stack up and they suspend. It makes ice fishing a lot more entertaining, almost like a video game. So the concept of a flasher is really quite simple. It might seem a little strange to look at the first time, but it's very simple to actually understand how they work. The way a flasher works is really quite simple. You have a transducer that basically pushes a cone down onto the bottom, and depending on the transducer that you run, that cone could be different. It could be wider or it could be more narrow. So depending on what that cone is actually reading, there's another fish. You might notice fish that are further off in the distance, or fish that are only just right underneath the hole. So that was another crappie. This one's a little bigger than the other one. And I would not have been able to catch that fish without a flasher electronic. So the mentality behind a flasher kind of over here is that it's like a necessity to ice fish. So once again, on that screen right now, what you're seeing is a few different things. So you have bottom right here, and there's a 12 right here. That means 12 feet, but I'm set on a double setting, so it's actually 12 times 2, so we're in 24 feet of water. These orange flickering marks are fish that are down there. This one just turned red, so it means that fish is directly underneath that beam, so odds are if I drop down, that's a fish that I can probably catch. All of these other orange and green flickering marks are fish that are just to the outside of that transducer cone. Whether they're moving around or just sitting there, it'll still pick up that subtle movement. So when you see a mark that's green and turns orange, it means that fish is getting closer to the beam. So just keeping that in mind, you can read a lot about a fish's behavior. Whether you mark something up high that's off in the distance, if it starts to turn green and then to orange to red, then you know that fish is moving in closer towards your beam, and you can prepare to catch it. A flasher, very affordable, very effective. It adds so much to ice fishing. Ice fishing would be very, very hard without a flasher, especially when you're chasing suspended fish like I am right now. So here comes my jig right now. Got a bunch of fish down there right now. As we approach sunset here, these crappies are just going to continue to get more and more active. You can see this one's already shooting up. He just bit, and I'm hooked up. I don't know what happened with my bail right there. That's a smaller fish, but still, the one thing that I just love about ice fishing is even when you're catching small fish like this, being able to watch those fish on your electronics. I got another fish on the dead stick right here. My drag is all loose, but this feels better. I'm having a pretty action-packed night right now. This might be a better fish than that first pike that I kind of caught. I mean, for the day that I've had to have such constant action right now is really quite awesome. I'm fishing clear water, so I'm hoping I can get a glimpse of whatever we got on the line here. I'm assuming it's going to be a pike. I don't know how big it's going to be. It felt decent at first, but now it's feeling sort of small. It's not bad. It's definitely a lot bigger than that first one. Now the one thing I have to keep in mind right now while I'm fighting this fish is I have a fluorocarbon leader that can be easily snapped by teeth. It's not a giant pike. It's a lot bigger than that first one I caught, so I will take it at this point. And this is why it's so effective to take advantage of having 2 rods per person, is because I can have this set line down here that just adds to the possibility of me catching more fish. There's crappies in this hole that are still being marked, and then I got a pike in this hole. Had a double header basically. And it just makes things so entertaining. And he's coming up the hole. This pike just jumped out of the hole. This is a gorgeous clear water pike. As I mentioned before, I knew I was going to get my use out of this M-War hook out tool. I'm going to just grab that tungsten jig here. Just got him by the skin. Pop that right out. Easy as that. Effective to have a long nose pliers when ice fishing, especially when you know you're going to be catching pike. He is bleeding a little bit, so I'm not going to waste any time. I'm going to get this fish right back, but just a lot of fun. Like I said, on the ultralight gear, it's a freaking blast. The light is diminishing now, but these fish's behavior is absolutely heating up. That's a little bit bigger. Still not giant. Still not... I don't even think you'd want to keep that one. But what's incredible, and I've never been able to pull this off crappie fishing through the ice ever, was I brought my jig so far up I could actually see the fish through the hole. I tried to get footage of it, but I don't know how well the GoPro actually picked it up. But it was pretty cool. I mean, we're fishing 25 feet of water, and I was bringing these fish probably 5 feet below the hole, which is pretty incredible. I appreciate you guys for checking out today's video. I know it's sort of all over the place, but let that be a testament to what fishing is and why fishing is so valuable, and why I recommend you bring people into the sport is because it is an escape from reality. It relieves stress, and it's just enjoyable. It's relaxing. I've had a wonderful night. I wasn't catching giant fish, but I was still having a blast. And for somebody like me who gets to fish all the time, gets to chase muskies, I still enjoy the living heck out of coming out of here and just having a fun, relaxed night of fishing. So I appreciate you guys viewing today's video. I will see you next week, and have a freaking good night.